Welcome! Another conversation with my father, and this time my little baby sister joins us. Do you like how every time I talk about you I say my little baby sister because it makes you a lot cuter?
It does make me seem a lot cuter, but it also makes me seem a lot younger. I feel like people think I'm like 14. I'm not 14.
Also a part of a conversation with my father. My father!
Yes, I'm just 15 years old.
You look like an adorable little 15-year-old boy.
That's me.
Just like sprouting your first chest hair, Dad. So we invited my little baby sister to be a part of this so she could be the dumb part of our smart conversation, right, Dad? This guy knows what I'm talking about.
Sure.
Yeah, dummy over here. So, do you know that everyone thinks our father's like Super Yoda?
You mean everyone knows our father is Super Yoda?
Like, it's happening. People, as soon as I come to Boise, everyone's like, you shut up, I want your dad! That's you, Pops. That's you, dog.
It's the ears, I tell you.
It's the ears? I don't think you have Yoda ears. I think it's the smile lines. Your
The
wrinkles
smile lines.
give you wisdom.
Yeah,
I think
and
it's his
I
green
look like
complexion.
I'm 800 years old too.
Yeah.
I like that. Oh, I'm being dumb. I mean, true that.
You don't have to be dumb.
Okay.
You bring it naturally. Burn! Burn on the little baby sister!
Oh, my flesh is sizzling.
Oh, you're on fire! You're just like there's smoke coming off you.
Just
Burn!
burning.
You're just burning up. I think we're both the dumb part of this smart conversation. I just realized. Now I'm embarrassed.
No.
His name is not Padre.
Yes, it is.
It's Dad, Daddy, or Dadathan.
Or Papa Bear.
Or Papa.
Dadathan.
Yes.
Dadathan. The Dathan.
And this is
Dasamino acid.
You know me.
the
We.
building block of
Just
life.
being the building block of life, just being an essential protein, all that, you know.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the nickname Jasamino acid?
I don't know. We were saying jazzy girl, the jazz man, and then the next thing just naturally was Jasmine.
Naturally. Naturally. Jasmine gets a smart kid nickname. What were my nicknames?
Stick girl.
Stick girl. That was the classic one. You still remind me a lot of Stick Girl.
No, I'm a grown woman now, Dad.
Or Cassie Gopia and the Big Dipper.
That's the one I was gonna say. That was the worst nickname. As soon as people found out my name was Cassiopeia, because it's a constellation, I'm actually shocked at the smartness of these kids for coming up with it. So you gotta give them props for that. Mad props, mean kids.
Kids could not come up with that these days.
Yeah, truth. But they're like Cassiopeia, Cassigopia in the Big Dipper. That's known.
Well, yours is for obvious reasons too. You go pee in the Big Dipper all the time.
I find myself going to the bathroom in the most random spots.
Once you picked up that snake, it went pee in the Big Dipper practically.
No, I went pee in Cassiopeia.
In me?
In you.
On you.
No.
I drank the snake urine to become Snake Woman.
Too far.
What? What?
What?
What?
I never take it too far.
The other day, what was the scariest thing that occurred on Halloween this year?
A little boy let himself into your house and took your candy?
No.
No, I know.
She knows the
I know.
population.
Yeah, the world population reached 7 billion people.
So when I saw
You're
that,
supposed to be the dumb part of this conversation.
I think you're filling that role full enough. Burn!
I have the power to edit.
Collegiate
No,
burn.
I have the power to edit. Dad, the world population reached 7 billion people. Oh, now I said it first.
No, I'm gonna
No,
talk
I said
over.
it first. Okay, so what happened?
so after I saw that, I did research to see what was going on and how quickly the population was growing and so forth. Do you know that there are more people on the Earth today than there has been in the entire history of the Earth?
I didn't know that.
Then what that means is, though, about 2050 they expect the population to more than double to about 15 billion people. And so the UN has created estimates of the number of people in the Earth, and their pessimistic estimate is that it will reach 15 billion. Their optimistic estimate is that it will start to trail off around 9 or 10 billion, depending upon what happens, because that's pretty much the limit of the present capability to produce food and support the population of the
I have a
world.
question.
So,
Why would the population trail off? What would have to occur?
That's what I was just talking about. That means to make that difference of the 3 to 5 billion people, you either have to kill them off before they're born,
Ooh.
which means you kill off their parents, or you kill them off after they're born, which is famine, pestilence, war. So those 5 billion people difference in the UN estimates of the world population, they represent a disaster of biblical proportions.
Methuselah!
And we only have 40 years to prepare for that difference. So the governments need to stop playing around and being over-concerned by present issues and make sure that they're addressing those long-term things before those future 3 to 5 billion people are gone or lost or whatever. So the thing that concerns me is I'll be too old to care by then. They just pick the nursing home and they'll use me for Soylent Green, but nerdy reference there. But you guys will be just thinking about how your kids are going to get married and have their kids. So it becomes a concern, something that we have to figure out, or encourage the government to figure out. The majority of the population increase is taking place in Central Africa and in India and Pakistan, all unstable regions of the world. Right now, Africa is trying gallantly to reduce the population by genocide with the various tribes there, but that's not a practical approach for the long term, nor is it very nice for the people.
Yeah, not very nice.
So,
I propose a solution.
oh yeah?
I call it the Methuselah hyphen rancid meat solution, in which we have the zombie apocalypse occur and the strong survive, which is the Methuselah point of view that we should just let all the people who are dying die out and all the zombies can die. And then the population will reduce to like 1 billion.
I have a solution also. I actually have two things. One's a solution and one's just something we gotta talk about. So, first thing, drugs, not hugs. We're gonna switch it around. Hugs have brought us to 7 billion. Drugs, just switch it. Switch it. That'll keep us right at 7 billion. My second problem is this. When all the smart people find out that this is a problem, which they probably already did, I was just like, I was a little slow on the uptake, but I'm one of you guys. Don't confuse me for anyone else. One of you guys. But we're gonna be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have so many kids because I don't want my kids to have problems. But then if the smart people here and they don't have so many kids, but then the not smart people, the dumbs as we call them, they keep having kids, and then we just have a society full of the dumbs, which is the plot of a movie.
Idiocracy!
Correct. That's your solution. That wasn't the solution, that was just
Commentary.
that was just commentary on the original issue.
Like director's
I like
commentary.
that you have a globe behind you. It makes you look super noble.
And then there's
When you do that, that doesn't make you look noble,
Sorry.
though.
Anyway, yeah, it's not as straightforward as you think, because you can put in limiting population growth. This is what China put in place in order to limit their population, and theirs isn't increasing as fast as some of the other countries. But there are other social problems with the fact that they're only allowed to have one child and so forth like that. So, what options does that leave? Because the
Go to outer
population is
space.
Yes.
the moon!
That's the answer, huh?
I know the answer. I know the answer. Firefly.
I know the answer. I know the answer. Total Recall.
Oh!
If you begin working now, you could, it's easier to make livable an arable land on the ocean or turn deserts into fertile land and stuff like this in order to make sure that the population can continue to increase. But if you're going to go that route, then you also must take into account the fact that eventually, like you say, you'll run out of land on the earth, and before you do that, you have to do something else.
Dude, we could live underwater. We could live in underwater domes.
We could be like Ariel.
We could be like Ariel!
We could start gene splicing with some fishies.
That's gross. Let's not do that. Instead, let's just live underwater in oxygenated bubbles.
Don't you want a fin?
No.
Do you want gills?
No.
Do you want seashell brows?
No. Well, that one I could go for.
No, but you do have to be planning for the next frontier, and whether that's oceans or
Yeah,
outer
that sounds like
space.
something you heard on Star Trek.
Even if you do the math, you'll see that the idea of building enough rocket ships in order to transport people to other planets, that becomes impossible at the rates of growth of the people in the world. So that's not a practical solution either. In fact, there are very limited practical solutions to it, mostly war and famine that kill off enough
give
people
us
at any time.
Give us some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, what would your solution be?
Okay,
It better be positive, or I'm
Positive
going to be
solution.
chopping.
Okay, so what it comes down to is all this talk about zombie apocalypse.
Woo woo.
There's an apocalypse coming, one way or another, just because
not
of where
positive.
things are coming.
For who? Who is that not positive for? I'm
will be
prepared.
prepared.
I'm prepared. You maybe. I don't know.
You live in Las Vegas. That is like the worst place to
Right
live.
now I
Yeah,
But
all
we
of
got
your
some
foods
years.
have to be imported. That means that it's not a tenable solution long term.
Yeah,
live there. I've got a
tenable.
machete, Dad.
Okay,
I have a battle axe in my
The bottom
apartment.
line is that you need to be prepared in order to continue living. And that's where the idea of colonizing space and moving into space is important. If you want pieces of the human race to survive, you're going to have to make safe places for them to be in certain places. You're not going to be able to protect everybody on the world from the basically hordes of hungry people if things remain unchecked.
Oh my gosh.
And the solutions, either war or famine or pestilence, are not going to be pretty. But if you get a colony on another planet that would not be impacted by this, say a moon colony, or even work at terraforming Mars, then you have a chance for the human race to survive and maybe repopulate the Earth after the Earth suffers its breakdown.
Dude, I have an
meltdown,
idea.
whatever.
It's elitist, so I'm kind of proud of it.
Okay.
You would be.
I vote that they make an IQ test.
We're stopping you.
The people
That is elitist. No, because no, sometimes the smartest people
are
aren't
the worst.
Yeah, they're not the most crafty.
You have to be careful not to start thinking that a caste system is the way to go, because all of the talents of the people that have come for so long, we don't want to lose that for the future.
You just need productive, positive people.
It means that
I
you
can
need a
agree.
chance to pull out enough pieces of the population to make sure that you can put some on a different colony world so that a severe pestilence would not necessarily wipe out the entire population or leave them incapable of going on. So it's just something that they would have to start preparing for now. And one of the ways they need to do this is that for right now, like the prison system, we need the equivalent of a Botany Bay in order to preserve the people who are prisoners now with no hope of anything else, that we spend billions of dollars a year keeping them housed with no hope of getting better anymore, because that's not the way the prison system works. It's just a revolving door practically.
So send felons to the moon to build the colony?
That's right, which brings us back to Robert Heinlein's Moon is a Harsh Mistress.
Dude, or 2001 A Space Odyssey.
Right, and it sounds far-fetched, But within 40 years, we would have the opportunity to make some of those things really take place. And if you could get some of the problems with the prison population resolved, there are already billions upon billions of dollars going into that. If you put it in something that's more likely to, one, preserve those people and their character, because their only character flaw is that they can't get along with our society. And if they have an opportunity to make a society of their own, all the better, because we'll need those talents as time proceeds. If you take the long view, you have to look at like what they're doing in some place in Sweden. Oh, I just about killed the world.
That would have solved our problem.
So they're creating a vault in order to put all the plant life and seeds and stuff so that they would survive. Well, it's just as important to make sure that the cultural and genetic heritage of the human race has an opportunity to survive too. So anyway, and it's just something that I've been thinking about.
Space, the final frontier.